This conference will now be recorded.
Actually, I'm a performance tester in my organization. So I just wanted to enhance more skills with Selenium. That's why.
Okay, fine. That's great. And how about Mayank?
Yeah, I'm also working as a performance tester and want to upskill and in future I would like to work as a full stack QA.
Okay. You want to, I guess your agenda is to become a full stack tester, I believe so. Both Richa and Mayank Avasti. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Good to have such set of people around. So, how about others? Tiwari, Tilly, Hafsa, Mido, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm a performance tester, so I just need to actually add some skills in Selenium. Thank you.
Okay. So how about Hafsa, Tilly? I mean, we have non-IT. Okay, fine. Okay. So we see half the crowd from IT and half the crowd from non-IT. Like the crowd which is in IT, they are into performance engineering. That's great of you. Someday I would like to sit with you and understand more on performance testing. Like I would love to more. Okay, we'll directly jump into the session. So is my screen visible, guys? Everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So since you are from non-IT background, since this is only purely with Selenium with Java, we'll directly jump into some of the testing, directly jump into automation. For the people who are from non-IT background, if they are having some confusion with respect to any testing keywords or testing terminology, please stop me and ask that question so that I'll help you clarify that question. Clear? Clear? Like Swagatika and Ajay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So basically the question is for the people who are coming from the IT background. So basically what is happening, you know the concept of testing, you know the process of testing. So in this current era of testing, why organizations and you yourself are considered that why automation testing is important? I want to listen it from your words before I talk. Mayank, Richa, Midav, Hafsa Tiwari, Rajshekar Tiwari, sorry.
Like by using Selenium as automation, we can reduce the manual task. Like in every sprint, we have to some of the features we have to test in every sprint. So things which are happening in every sprint, we can automate those features if they are already tested manually and are stable. So we can this is one of the reasons why we use automation.
So how about you, Richa?
For a regression path, actually, we are doing a multiple iteration cycles in testing. So for that, we reduce and test the multiple iteration for a regression path. So we'll automate our application and see the result, how they work according to a relevant splints and everything.
Okay. That's good. So hi Anupama, welcome. So we are just here to may I know from you from IT or non-IT background first of all.
No, I'm from IT.
So you're currently working as
I'm currently working as a testing.
like manual or performances? You're working as a manual tester.
Yes.
So the question that we were discussing is that why the concept of automation testing is becoming much of importance these days. So I would like to listen that thing from your word.
Excuse me?
So why the concept of automation testing is becoming so important these days in the current scenario situation. So I just want to get your views on it.
It's like it's a quick testing kind of, and also we can do
Also we can do.
it's kind of like quick testing, and also we can maintain the test data with the tools that like are using the automate tools, and
Okay.
also
Mm-hmm. Okay. Nice. So any other answers with this respect to this question?
Yeah, I think it's for actually cost reduction and time consuming, So
No,
to
no,
reduce
no.
cost
Yeah.
and
Go
to
ahead. And
and to actually minimize the usage of time. Very crucial. The reason for automation.
okay.
Manual effort takes a lot of time and money.
Yeah. Okay. So you're speaking more like a service delivery person, which is really great, Meadow. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks for your views, everyone. So yeah, thanks for your views, everyone. So as our friend said, with respect to automation testing, what is it all about? So why automation testing is becoming so important? The main reason is to save time, to save cost, to improve, save time and save cost, and we can do the testing on our application for n number of times, less of a human interaction, last but not the least, it makes the life of a tester pretty much easier, no matter whether I'm from performance background or I'm from manual background. Clear? This type of automation testing mainly focuses on the business logic of the application. Clear? In automation testing, we focus mostly on the business logic, business part of the application. Clear? Clear, everyone? This point? Anyone has any doubts?
Again, tell.
Yes, Swagatika, you just tell me.
Again, explain.
Okay, fine. So basically, you know the concept of testing, right? Basic idea about testing. Swagatika.
Yes.
So basically, what is the testing process that we generally do? We sit in front of the system and we test the application, right? As per the requirements that you get. Yes or no?
Yes.
So what we are trying to achieve
Yes.
with the help of automation is that we are trying to perform the same testing with the help of a bot, with the help of some programming knowledge. Clear? Whatever the testing that you are trying to do manually, we are trying
Yes.
to perform the same thing with the help of a scripting tool or a script framework or a bot or something. Clear?
Yes.
So with this, what will happen? Less of a human interaction, more of a time-saving process. Then the cost in software industry, the things go like how many man hours have you spent for this project? Got the point? So if you spend 8 hours to finish a regression, it's a very costly thing for a company. If the automation script keeps on running, then it doesn't come under your man hours, right? So that's how the cost gets reduced for the company and for the project. Clear? Only they'll pay for the automation engineer, and rest of the manual testers they can carry on with some other important activities. Clear?
Yes.
And you need more clarification, or this is sufficient?
Mm, sufficient.
So any other doubts? Anyone? Anupam, sorry. Richa, Hafsa, Rajshekhar, Tilly, Ajay. Any doubts?
No doubt.
Okay. So when you see this image with respect to manual versus automation engineer, what are your views mostly about it? With the help of this image, what does it explain to you? What does it tell you about? So this is a question, guys. By seeing this image, what do you understand by this?
Manual tester will execute regression test cases manually, and where an automation tester can automate the regression suite using Selenium, Java. So that is the yeah.
Okay. Then how about others? Richa, Anupama, Rajshekhar, please go ahead, Rajshekhar.
This picture, right?
Sorry?
What is the question? Could you please repeat?
So based on this image, what we can understand actually.
Okay, so automation QA engineer's life is happy and peaceful, and manual engineer seems to be frustrated and overloaded. Such type of things like
Okay, fine,
yeah.
Okay, okay. So Hafsa, go ahead.
Actually, with this image, human testers are more in manual testing. Human testers, what to say? Human testers this but in automation testing tools, I'm getting such an idea.
Yeah, no worries. No one is gonna pinpoint you stating that you are right or you are wrong. What we all need is your views on this image. So may I know, Hafsa, you're from IT background or non-IT?
Yeah, IT. I'm
So you're
working
a,
as a manual tester.
okay. That's nice. So this is very much important for you, for your career. So Rajshekhar, sir, you're from IT or non-IT background?
I'm from IT background.
So you're from, you're into testing, or you're into any sort of testing, or?
Currently, majorly I'm in manual testing, but also working on automation, but through Functionize, not Selenium or any scripted language. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. So basically, any other people would like to share their views on with respect to this image? Mayank, Richa, Anupama.
Uh, Actually, a manual tester can retest the same work multiple times. No? By the automation tester can write a single script, and by using that particular script can retest the multiple iteration rounds. So it will be more helpful to the for the tester and for the product also.
Okay, that's a very nice answer. Thanks, Richa.
Thank you.
How about others, Mayank, Meadow?
Hi, Rahul.
Yeah. Hi, Karthik.
Yeah, actually, manual tester is he had to do the work repeatedly. Like he was doing regression. So many cases he have. Whereas coming to automation tester, he was very happy. So because using Selenium and Java, he automated those work. So it will. So it was very peaceful for him.
Okay, okay. That's nice of you, Karthik. You're from IT or non-IT background, Karthik?
I am from IT background. I am working as a device tester,
Oh, nice.
manual testing only.
Yeah, that I got it. Nice.
Mm.
Nice one, bro. Okay. So actually, with respect to conclude this image, as everyone said, manual testing needs a lot of rework if they want to test the same code or same application in different environments. Whereas our friend Richa said that the single script they can run the same thing in different environments, making the life easier, and the reports will be generated for us. Clear? Clear, everyone? With the same point, especially Ajay and Swagatika and Tilly.
Yes.
Okay. But there is one more thing I would like to fill you in with respect to automation engineer. From the day one, the life of automation engineer will not be easy. In the initial days of our work, we need to work hard a lot. We have to at least work like for 12 to 13 plus hours if you are trying to build automation frameworks from scratch. Why? Because you need to ensure that with the help of a single script it should cover all kinds of situations, all kinds of error messages, all kinds of validation needs to be done. So in order to build such a strong and robust script, you need to work a lot in the initial stages of the automation cycle, so that when the project goes live or the product is handed over to the customer, that time he can be in this chill kind of environment. Clear? Clear, everyone? Clear, everyone, guys?
Yeah, clear.
So, as we have discussed just now, what are the advantages of automation? Reliability. That means what we are performing the test perform precisely the same operations each time they run, thereby eliminating human error. So it's like the situation is like when you're manually testing the application, what happens? You perform the same operations for 5 times or 6 times or 7 times. When you're trying to do the same activity for 8 times, on overlook, you might tend to do some error, right? Yes or no? So in order to avoid such things, then automation scripts are reliable enough to perform the same operations again and again. Clear? Then the repeatability part. What do you mean by repeatable? Enabling the capability to test how the software reacts under repeated execution. That means what? If you are trying to run the same test on a once, it doesn't matter. If you are trying to run the same activity again and again and again in order to observe the behavior of the application, then also the automation script will be more than happy to support us. Comprehensiveness builds the ability to build a suite of tests that covers every feature of the application. We can build a suite of test cases that covers every hook and corner in your application. It helps us covering every corner, every area of your application. Clear? Clear, everyone?
Yes.
So as our friends, better quality software. That means what? Ability to run more test cases in less amount of time with a reduced team size. With the help of this, it will be like a cost saving effective mechanism for the companies with respect to testing. So that means what? The lesser the cost you spend on the testing thing, the more profit, the more benefit it will be there for the project, because you are saving a lot of money for the company with the help of automation. Clear? You can run more test cases within less amount of time and reduce team size. That means what? If you're finishing the work in less amount of time, then the project will be delivered quickly. Clear? Clear, everyone?
Yeah.
Then we can discuss the concept of reusability. Enabling reusability of tests on a different versions of application, even if the user interface changes. So we can reuse our test cases on different versions of the application. Like for the first release, or when the application is handed over for the first time, we can run the automation scripts on it. Or when you want to test the application after the 20th build, or the code changes have been made after a long time also, then you can run the automation scripts to check how many UI changes have been made, how many functional changes have been made, and etc. and stuff. So automated tools run tests significantly faster than manual process. So you should always remember this thing. Automated tools can run the test cases much faster, that in such a way that your test cases will finish within a blink of an eye. Clear? So as I have told you, cost reduction. That means what? Result of reduced team size realized by productive gains. That means what? When you are working with lesser team size, then you are obviously reducing the cost of your project, thereby giving more profits to the company. Clear? Programmability. With the help of the programming knowledge that we have, it can bring software. We can program sophisticated tests that bring out the hidden information from the application. So whenever you're trying to program your test cases, so sometimes what happens, you can bring out some the hidden information as such, like how much time it is taking to load, or the animation part, how much time is taking to learn. Or you can also check within how much CPU percent, under which what is the optimal CPU percentage for the application to be running properly. Clear? Clear everyone? Swagatika, Ajay, Richa, Mido, Anupama, Tilly.
Yeah, it's clear.
Any doubts, anyone so far? Any doubts, anyone? Please let me know. Swagatika, Ajay, Tilly, Madhu.
Hello. Can you explain what is like comprehensive?
Comprehensiveness means a total coverage. It's like whenever you go for an insurance policy, a health insurance, comprehensive package. Have you heard the comprehensive package? That means what? It gives the overall protection like accident insurance, or like a accident insurance, or whenever you're performing some operations or something, or whenever it's for your children also when they are born recently. Ajay, you got the point? Comprehensive coverage means complete coverage of this insurance. Clear, Ajay?
Means we are covering the old test cases like that,
No, not
right?
like
Old
comprehensive means
feature.
not the old features. We are trying to cover all the features of the application, let it be old or new. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Okay, got it.
When is manual testing better to use than automation testing? So let me finish. There are two more slides where I discuss about automation. Then I'll tell you which are the areas where automation doesn't work. In those areas only manual testing will be supported, Tilly. Okay? Okay, Tilly. I hope I have answered your question. So, apart from all the above things, what are the other advantages of automation testing? Speed, effective test management, wider test coverage, accuracy, resource optimization. So, we have discussed about resource optimization and speed in our previous image. So, when we discuss about wider coverage, when the automation covers a large number of when we create a large number of complex automated cases along with their execution repeatedly over a period of time, then the manual team can cover the other scenarios which are not covered as part of test cases. Like they can try to test the application which is apart from the given scope. And that means what, they can focus on the unstated requirements of the product and test and find more bugs or issues apart from the cases automated by the automation team. Accuracy means what? The test cases will be executed with a greater precision and lower errors than manual testing. Clear? Effective test management enables the test to be traced, updated, and reused in the future to cover and execute when there are similar requirements and functionalities. Clear? So with the help of automation testing, we can get a better reports, better analysis. We can do a better analysis about the test case, how it is going on, and whether it is pass or fail or something. Clear? So if we are getting another project with the same set of requirements with small here and there changes also, then this automation script will be more than happy to support us. Clear? Clear, everyone? Karthik, Madhu, Philly, Richa, Mayank, Swagatika, Anupama, Ajay.
Yes, Rahul.
So these are the general test execution efforts that we spend on a scale of 1000 cases, 250 cases, 50 cases, 15 cases. So people are from IT industry or they are into manual testing. I hope can you explain this graph on behalf of everyone so that we can also get your views on this image of how effective is automation testing over manual testing. There, Mayank, Richa, Midao, Sunaina, Anupama, Karthik.
Like like they are focusing on how many hour it will take, like coming to regression testing, it will take 160 hours. Suppose if we same cases, if we automate, means it will take 16 hours. And like partial regression also 40 hours it will take, and for automation it will take 4 hours. Similarly for sanity, it was it will it time in automation we are the time is reduced, and we can execute fastly, and cycle also, test cycles also, it will complete soon.
Okay, okay. How about others?
Yeah, Rahul. So
Yeah,
the
Madhu.
slide says, yeah. So based upon the type of test, like the test suite will vary, and based upon the test suite, like we are having the number of hours divided, and of time spent on both manual and automation, like it's varying as per the test suite. Yeah.
Okay. So these number of hours that are being calculated are on a generic basis. There's nothing to point out on a specific suit like this and stuff. So basically, if it is 160 working hours for a full regression, that means what? Almost 20 days you're spending to complete a full regression. Because considering I'm working 8 hours a day, so spending 20 days on a full build regression is one of the most costly affairs for any company that is handling the testing process. So that is why they pull this automation into picture so that it can ease the load from the manual testers and automate some test cases so that the time can be saved. Clear? Clear, Meadow,
Yeah,
Naina, Karthik?
yeah, clear.
Yes, it is clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
So what are the before you jump into the stream of automation, you need to know couple of things when you're entering into this field. Whenever you're trying to automate something, never ever automate a mess. Okay? First of all, why? Because if you are trying to create a mess in your script, then it reduces the readability of your program. If it reduces the readability of your program, then your peers or your managers or leads will not understand what you have written. So avoid complex logic in your scripts. What do you mean by this? Whenever the logic is required in a script, only then you have to write it. Don't write unnecessary complexity. Don't increase the complexity of the code unnecessarily. That is what we meant to. Third thing, 100% automation is never possible, no matter what. No matter how skilled the automation tester is, 100% automation is never possible. And there is a myth going in the market that automation is replacing the manual jobs. That will never ever happen. Automation is trying to support the manual team only by easing off their load in number of test cases, so that the manual team can focus on different scenarios, different things. Okay. Fourth thing, beware of automation engineers who don't understand the testing. So that is the main thing I would like everyone to know, because people who do not have any basic idea of testing, it is very difficult for them to jump into automation testing, especially for non-IT people. Whenever I'm using some testing terminologies anywhere, please stop me there so that I will help you understand what is the terminology means and the real-time concept. Clear? Clear, Swagatika Ajay? The people are from non-IT background. Clear? Fifth thing, test automation is a software development process. Because why is this a software development process? We are also coding here. We are also building a framework. We are also facing issues. We have to fix the code. All this is part of a software development process. So respect that this is a software development process and it will take time for us to build a robust framework. Robust framework, strong scripting will be taking some time to happen. Clear, everyone? Clear? Swagatika, Ajay, Anupama, Sunaina, Midok.
Yeah, clear. Thank
So before you jump into automation testing, these are the 5 things that you need to all remember before entering into this industry, because having these notions or rules within your subject helps you understand when to do automation, when to be using a complex script. Always you will remember when you're scripting, you should never ever create a mess in your scripting mechanism. Clear? Clear, everyone? Yeah. Thank you. So hope you have seen the course plan in our website. If you have not seen, that's not a problem. So this is the course plan that we are going through. So what we are doing, we will cover the basics of testing and purpose of Selenium. So we have discussed the point today. What is test and test automation? What is SDLC lifecycle? And SDLC stands for Software Development Lifecycle. And what is the purpose what is the role of automation engineer with respect to this SDLC lifecycle? So we have also discussed this thing, why automation testing is important, along with different facets of testing, case studies and facts. Clear? We have discussed this point today. And among all the tools in the market, why Selenium is the tool that is being standing out in the market? What are the pros and cons of it compared to other tools? Clear? Clear? Any doubts?
Yeah, like regarding the fifth point, like where we mentioned like why Selenium is being used. Sorry, like if I put the pros and cons, can you repeat that?
See, you have almost a lot of automation tools are coming in the market, right? Yes or no? So out of
Yes.
that, you also need to know why Selenium is one of the most popular tools that is being used, right?
Right.
So we'll be discussing that point also, because in the interview,
Acha, okay. I thought like it's been covered, so that's why I thought of I missed out.
no, that's not covered.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Got it.
So how do we install the basic Java in your system? How do we install JDK? And how do we create a basic project in the Eclipse? So how do we create a Maven project? And how do we add the external dependencies in our code? Clear? Clear, everyone?
Yes.
So then we'll go from the scratch. That is Java basics. What is Java? How do we create a new class? And what are the basic syntaxes with respect to Java? What is the data type? What are the different data types? And what are the different wrapper classes? Conditional and looping statements, static versus non-static methods and objects initialization. Okay. What is the constructor and its basics? And what is the purpose of a constructor? What is a string? What is exception handling? And what is arrays? So we integrate all the basics of Java with the Selenium concepts that we have learned at a later point of time. That is the main agenda we are trying to achieve with this Java. Clear? If you are unable to understand any technical terms here, please let me know. I will try to explain as short as I can. If I feel that it will take some time, then I'll explain it as part of the course in detail. Okay? With respect to Java basics topic. There? There, everyone? Okay. Richa, Midao, Sunaina, Anupama, Tilly, Karthik, Naru.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Then,
clear.
yeah, then we'll discuss about the strings, because in automation, strings is one of the most important topics that we'll be covering, and why it is important from automation perspective. What are the different types of string functions that are present in Java, and how do we use the concept of string utils for Apache Maven, whether it's present in Apache Maven library, and what is the collection concept, and what are the different types of collections that we use and their usage with respect to automation. So strings and collections are one of the most important topics with respect to automation. Then the next topic is how do we perform exception handling and its purpose from automation standpoint of view. What is the syntax of exception handling? What is the purpose of how do we write a try catch block? And how do we write how do we write multiple catch blocks with one try block? And difference between throws and throws method, and how do you create your own custom exceptions and calling them somewhere else. Is this point clear with respect to exception handling?
Yes, Rahul. It's clear.
So the next topic that we'll be dealing is file handling. What do you mean by file handling? How do we write data to the file? How do we read the data from the file? How do we collect all the lines of the file in one go? How do we copy the files from one location to other location? What are the different concepts of file functions? Clear? Then in inheritance, we'll be covering the OOPS concept in detail. Clear? We'll be covering the OOPS concepts such as encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance, and abstraction. And what is the purpose of this and super keyword in Java? Yeah, Venkat, please go ahead.
No. Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah. Then we'll be discussing about the basics of Selenium. What is Selenium IDE? What is Selenium RC? So before jumping into the Selenium WebDriver concept, you should also understand what are the different tools that are present in the Selenium family, and out of which why Selenium WebDriver is the tool that we are using in the market. Okay. What are the different types of locators for searching the elements? What are the different types of XPaths? How do you handle the web tables? How do you perform how do you apply implicit and explicit weights in your driver? How do we perform the click and send keys action? How do we perform multiple windows and tab switching? How do we handle the frames, pop-ups? How do we upload and download the files? And what is the purpose of Chrome options and desired capabilities, which helps us in enhancing the browser? So we'll be covering all the basics of Selenium. In fact, I might have missed couple of topics like 2-3 topics I have missed, but that also will be covering. Okay. We'll also see how do we handle the drop downs, how do we scroll down the page, how do we scroll up a page. Clear? Clear everyone? Venkat, Karthik,
Yes.
Swagatika, Anupama, Richa. Yeah. Tilly, are you okay? Yeah. So then we'll be discussing a plugin called as TestNG. TestNG stands for Test Execution Engine. So what do you mean by Test Execution Engine? How do we install the TestNG plug marketplace? So what is the purpose of Test Execution Engine is, like manually, how do we execute the test cases? Similarly, how do we perform it by our automation script? So what are the different annotations of TestNG? What are the sample tests? How do we write a sample test case via TestNG? How do we execute test cases in TestNG? How do we parameterize our values? How do we group our test cases? What is the assert statement? Dependency of how do we create a dependency between the test cases? What is the purpose of WebDriver event listener? And how do we use our custom listeners as part of the scripting? Then comes the most important topic that is called as Cucumber, which is one of the most in-demand topic for any interviews that you are attending as part of an automation engineer. Okay, how do we install the Cucumber from marketplace? How do we create a runner file and syntax? How do we write the step definitions? How do we combine the test engine with the Cucumber? How do we prepare the scenario name based on the tags? What is scenario outline? What is pickled test concept? So these are the different things that we'll be covering under the basics of Cucumber framework. Cucumber framework is nothing but whatever the test steps that you have, right? We are automating the test cases in the form of a test steps. Okay. Then we'll perform the Excel operations, like how do we write the data to the Excel sheet? How do we read the data from the Excel sheet? And what is the concept of the data provider? Okay. So in this process, we are trying to build a real-time framework that we'll be using in the companies as part of the course plan. And we will see how do we generate reports as part of the framework? How do we use the GitHub on a daily purpose? And apart from Eclipse, there's another tool called as IntelliJ. And how do we use the IntelliJ on a daily basis apart from Eclipse? So this is the course plan that we are this is the course that we are going through in our journey. Clear? Anyone? Everyone? Any doubts with the course plan?
Yeah, Rahul, like I had few things, like I'm not sure like whether I can ask that. So like are we covering the something called TDD and BDD, test data driven and behavioral data driven?
The BDD Cucumber is all everything, right? Behavior driven is Cucumber. TDD is what you call as test engine.
Acha, got it. And like are we going to cover anything in terms of integration with the cloud, either in terms of AWS or anything?
No,
Right?
nothing. Because that's something we have to buy again, right? Something that's internal to the
Okay.
company. When you are in the company only, then you have better cloud access than what we created for free for you.
Okay. So will there be any sort of any change in terms of any integration is required? And at least say that sort of guidance will be provided?
I can give you a guidance for an interview basis, like how do you answer it. But basically, when you're trying to integrate with some DevOps tool, obviously every company has their own standards on host structure to be followed. So at the end of the day, everything remains the same. The whole core concept remains the same. How do the approach is different? Okay.
Okay. The integration part will be different. Oh, got it. And will there be any sort of a master or slave execution in or here? Or straight away we can execute in our own machines?
Yeah, you can execute in your own machines. Master slave is more of a performance side rather than in
Okay.
automation side.
Okay. So like the reason why I'm asking that is like I have heard something like where like one of my manager has given an master machine where they used to execute the remaining test suite in a different
That is
machine.
called a Selenium grid. That is called a Selenium grid actually.
Selenium grid. Okay.
The problem with Selenium grid in our training is I don't have those many virtual machines to create a hub and trigger it. Actually, what happens with Selenium grid is he has a list of another VMs in his hub, right? And so everything is in a one complete network, right? So what happens when it triggers the test cases? He gives the directions to those hubs stating that okay, in this machine I want you to execute this cases. Like we'll be passing the instructions to it. But down the line, when you're trying to use Selenium grid, it is very difficult to control it because the frameworks are getting more and more dynamic, more and more advanced. That is another thing you also need to understand because these days the expectations for automation is such a way that even the end users who are using the product also want to use the automation. Got the point? And there you cannot use
Yeah,
Selenium
I'm
grid
getting it. Right. I'm getting it. Yeah.
because when you're
So
working with different networks, then you have to change the concept of Selenium grid, and not many companies from client side will be interested to give you their port numbers or their VMs right for you to integrate with Selenium grid. When you're working on a
got it.
local network only, you can have this hub and port mechanism.
Okay, got it. So we'll be using a Cucumber framework and TestNG for execution part, right?
Yes,
Instead of going with the Selenium grid. Okay, got it.
yes.
Yeah.
So what is
Thank
hub?
you.
We are covering the course on a generic basis, nothing specific to anyone. Okay.
Okay, I got it now. Yeah. Thanks for that. Thank you.
Yeah. So any other questions?
Is it any
Rahul, is there in
1 minute,
sorry,
Richard,
yeah.
go ahead.
So is this any real-time project you
As
combined with this?
I've told you in the last point, all of the concepts that you're trying to do will be trying to create a real-time framework where we will be seeing how the framework is built And with the help of the same framework, how can you automate different sets of applications? That is the one we are trying to achieve at the end of the day.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
So Venkat, go ahead, please.
Yeah, Rahul. Is there any log4j framework for the error handling?
Actually, the problem with log4j mechanism is that you have to use log4j.xml file again. While you use the XML file, then you need to use some appenders, console, this thing. So what is my suggestion to you in the long run is that the more of a log4j you use, the more it's just like you're making your logging mechanism more difficult. So instead of that, I can teach you how can you make your own custom logging mechanism that can be reflected against the each execution time. Like against the each execution, you can get your own custom logging mechanism. That will be much easier and better to understand than having all the logs in one file. Clear? You need the log for that particular instance only, not for the complete run. Clear? For that particular instance or for the particular run only, not for all the runs. Clear? That is the advantage with logger4j. Not many people will tell you.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, got it.
So anyone else? Mayank, Meadow, Anupama Sanana. And Tilly, your question is answer to your question is it's 30 to 45 days, Tilly. You can calculate the number of weeks with that. Yeah, Karthik, go ahead.
Rahul, sorry, I was like it was network issue. Can you tell about Cucumber? Like in short,
So
you can tell.
yeah, generally what we write in test cases, we write the test cases in the form of a test steps, right?
Yeah.
So when we write the test cases in the form of a test steps, so we try to automate the test cases with the help of our test steps. That is called a BDD approach, behavioral driven approach. Clear?
Okay. Yeah.
Any doubts?
No.
Okay. Does anyone have any doubts?
What about that bonus topics are you, as you mentioned below? Will it be
That
covered?
will be if we have some time permitting, because we'll have to see whether the time permits or not. That is why I mentioned this as bonus topics.
Okay.
I'll try my level best to cover it, but if the time doesn't permit, then I have to park it aside.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But let's see if people are catching up, if everyone is able to catch up things fastly, then I'll try to cover these things. Else, then we have to park it aside because we don't know how much the whole thing that you have covered for 13 topics will take 30 to 45 days. Clear?
Okay. 30 to 45 days.
Clear?
Yeah.
Any other questions, anyone? Any other questions, anyone? So if you have any details regarding the fees and the commercial part, you can talk to Kumar Gupta sir, or you can talk to our team. They'll be more than happy to help you. Okay.
Sure, Rahul.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you all. We'll break for the day. Hope you have a great night, and we will rejoin tomorrow. Okay. Expecting the same crowd tomorrow.
Okay.
That will be
Thank you.
discussing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.